very cup every time.
With that, let's start the court, everyone.
It's a phenomenal game, right?
Hello, everybody. Welcome again to our Netevia sponsored podcast on the NHL Stanley Cup hunt. As you could see, we have an unusual format today. It's myself and Emma, and we're both on the road. You will see these formats throughout the Cup as the traveling schedules will coincide with us and the teams. So we'll be bringing you some action in the format that you're seeing here today. Hope you like it and continue to support us with your likes and subscriptions. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel and do not forget to give us comments on how we're doing. We really, really, really value that. So without further ado, what happened this weekend and how we're doing overall in the hunt for the cup is here's Emma.
Hey guys, super excited to be here again. So it's a really interesting idea because before Game 5 of the Dallas-Colorado game, which was yesterday, we're recording on a Tuesday morning. Every series in the West was 2-2. That means they're at least going 6 games. And every series in the East is 3-1. So towards a certain team. So we're gonna go through all the games that happened Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and we're gonna see kind of how everything stacks up. So we're gonna start off with the Montreal Canadiens and the Washington Capitals game that was on Friday. The Canadiens won that game 6-3. Lots of goaltending injuries. Sam Montembeault left the game, but he has yet to return, and the Canadiens have announced. And then Thompson for the Capitals was out. He left in the middle of the game, but he's coming back. So that game was 6-3. Eventually, on Sunday, the Capitals did win, and it was a 5-2 win. So now they're going home for Game 5, and they will be having a chance to close out the series on home ice. We can also go back to the Carolina Hurricanes and New Jersey Devils. The Devils did win 3-2 on Friday in overtime. It was actually double overtime. But the Carolina Hurricanes came back so as well with the Washington Capitals with the exact same score. It was a 5-2 win for Carolina, and they also will have a chance to go back home to Carolina and get the series done and dusted. What do you think of these two series?
I think it's definitely a very interesting scenario with the 3-1s on the East and 2-2 on the West. It just shows you the difference in the teams between East and the West. I think that we're gonna have the series wrapped up in 4-1s for the most part, if you ask me, on the East. Definitely, I'm hoping that our what's coming up next, our beloved Florida Panthers will not disappoint and will close out the series, even though they're doing their next game in Tampa. It doesn't really matter for Florida these days. They play just as good at as being a guest to the ice as being home ice. So I think that the East series are going to be 4-1, and we will be waiting for the West series for a little bit while longer, giving the East Coast teams an edge in terms of extra days.
Yeah, so I'm going to finish up the East, which is the Tampa, Florida. And Tampa did win the Saturday game 5-1. It was quite rough. Florida did score the first goal, and then it was just like offense. There was an empty netter and everything like that. But luckily, yesterday was an epic comeback. So Florida scored first. It was 1-0, and then Tampa scored 2 in 11 seconds. Absolutely insane. And then Florida, they got a goal. It was 2-2, but it was disallowed because of offsides. And then Florida came out with 2 goals of their own in their own 11 seconds to make it 3-2. And then Cincinnati made it 4-2. And now the Panthers on Wednesday will have a chance to close it down in Tampa, which is, for Florida's great. Just like you mentioned, they play great on the road. And then the final East series is the Ottawa-Toronto series. Toronto won the first 3. And then on Saturday, Ottawa came back and they won 4-3 in overtime So they're the only ones that have made an inch to come back from a 3-0 series deficit. I don't think they're going to get it done, but I really hope it goes a little while longer if Florida can close it out on Wednesday, so Florida has a few days kind of to regroup and get set again. Because that will be the matchup, and hopefully they get it done. Moving on to the West, starting on Friday, Edmonton Oilers and the Los Angeles Kings. That one was wow. Oilers came back. They scored so many goals. LA was up. Oilers came back 7-4 Oilers, the final. Absolutely insane. Both goaltenders, like I mentioned in the previous podcast, they did not start their starter. They started, their starter got pulled. So Skinner got pulled, and then they put in Pickard, and he was great. He knew what he was doing, and he did lead them to the win. And then later, 4-3 Oilers in overtime on Sunday night. And again, Pickard was in net. So clearly, Edmonton's a little confused about their goaltending, but Pickard's probably going to be the guy for the rest of the series.
I gotta tell you, the overtime win and the leading into the third period 3-1 losing, Oiler made a phenomenal comeback in the third period on Monday, and obviously the overtime win was kind of expected at that point, if you ask me. Although maybe people think that it's not the case, but I don't know. I mean, it's really crazy that you can come back like that from 3-1 to tie the series, tie the regulation game. 26 seconds, and the series would have been won, and the series would have been won by LA. And 26 seconds was enough of a jump to for Oilers to get the overtime, to get to the overtime, and obviously win in the overtime. I mean, that's crazy. 26 seconds, crazy. But of course, we were just discussing the Tampa and Panthers series. 11 seconds, 2 goals one way. 7 seconds, 2 goals the other way. The things that are happening right now in the Stanley Cup, but absolutely crazy to watch.
Yeah. So moving on to the other series, the Minnesota-Vegas series. Minnesota won their first home game, and they won on the road, so they were leading 2-1. Their second home game couldn't get it done. Vegas 4-3 overtime. The series again tied at 2. So again, really back and forth play. We thought Vegas was dead. They came back. They won. Wild are doing good. So now just a chance of can they get the game 5 on the road in Vegas? And honestly, I think they can. If they come out the way they came out in games 2 and 3, they can. But Vegas is going to have a pushback because they don't want to go 3-2 down going to Minnesota. It's not a good idea for them. So that game is Tuesday night, which is the day that we are recording. And so another series, we have the Colorado Avalanche with the Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars were leading this 2-1. They won games 2 and 3, one in Colorado, and then Colorado game 4 for nothing. So they were like, let's take a pause, Dallas. This is our show. But then on Monday night, they lost 6-2 to the Dallas Stars playing in Dallas. So that series is currently the only series 3-2. What are your?
Well, I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. Colorado looked so strong coming into the series, so strong. I was not expecting Dallas to put up a fight like this, and let alone be where they are today. I think that it's an exciting thing to watch. This is why we watch them, because even though you could be thinking about the predictions, some things that are not predictable in a team sport like hockey is the willingness to win. And that ties into this series, and it reflects on it really in a big way.
I completely agree. It's a willingness to win. A lot of players spoke about belief, and they feel like they can get it done. They can come back from behind, and that in this case is the St. Louis Blues. They were down 2-0. They lost both games in Winnipeg, and they said, "Hold my beer," and it's our time. First, they score a touchdown, 7 goals on Hellebuck. He gets pulled, and then on Sunday They scored 5, and Hellebuyck gets pulled again. They win the game 5-1. Now they're going back to Winnipeg, winning 2 in a row on home ice. The question is, can they push more? And Hellebuyck looked shaky. I wonder if they do start it. Or maybe they'll cut, because Comrie's been good. Their backup's been solid. But Hellebuyck's not really showing the performance that he was in the regular season, especially that he is the assumed Vezina winner, which is the best goaltender in the league, and he was just named a finalist yesterday.
Like I always said, Stanley Cup is a completely different type of a tournament, and it's completely different from the regular season. You have a lot less chances to make mistakes, and you don't have 80 games to make up for your mistakes. You have maybe 1 or 2, and the willingness to win is where you are, and where the team should be when being part of the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, completely agree. You don't have options to make mistakes. Florida made 1 mistake, back of their net. That's how it is. Especially with these really good teams. There's a lot of teams like Dallas and Colorado. They're really even. So for one to be out in the first round, you have to limit your mistakes. And that's what's going to happen. So tonight, which is Tuesday night, the games will be on. There's going to be the game 5 of Toronto, Ottawa, game 5 of Carolina, New Jersey. Hopefully those 2 can close it out. Maybe not. We'll see what happens. Then there's going to be game 5 of Vegas, Minnesota, and game 5 of Oilers, Canadiens. So again, 3-1 series in the East everywhere, and then the only one who has played game 5, which is Colorado and Dallas, 3-2 Dallas. Everyone else tied out too. So we'll see what happens. Super excited to see what's up and what's going to happen, because again, it's really eventful and ready to roll. So hope you guys enjoyed our podcast. What are your final thoughts?
I think it's an exciting series to watch right now. This is the time where you guys can enjoy the games, and my personal favorite is Oilers, as always, on the West. And I'll obviously be hoping that Panthers are going to close out the series tomorrow. So those are my 2 games that I would be watching very closely, but do enjoy the ones that you feel are the most exciting for you guys. We will be, looking forward to our next podcast on the road or in the studio, and peace out.
Very Cup every time.
With that, let's start with what, everyone?
It's a phenomenal game, right?